guess where we are? We are here at the Santa Monica Pier. We have a lot of activity going on here. We have some, should I say, street musicians? This really isn't the street, it's a pier. And we have the normal Tinder dates going on. We have a drone here in the background, you can probably hear it. I want to talk about upfront pricing. I know I've covered this before, but now that I know what's happening, I know that both Lyft and Uber are doing the same thing. They are choosing the second most efficient route on Google Maps. They're making more money and you are not making as much if you take the more efficient route. So what I have come up with is I use the second route. I will use Google Maps and I will drive according to that one, because that way you are making as much as Lyft and Uber, or you're going to make a fair share. If you're too efficient, then you're going to leave money on the table. So I'm going to show you what happens when you use the most efficient route and the second most efficient route, and I will show you how you lose money by going with the most efficient route. We are going to replicate a route that I showed you on my second vlog, and I'm using Lyft right now. On my previous vlog, I picked up a passenger named Alexa. Lyft suggested that I, the driver, take the shorter route, but what it showed Alexa was the longer route. Now I have the driver app for Lyft and I have the passenger app for Lyft. And I'm going to show you, Lyft is taking us on the longer route to drop off Christine. This is the exact location that I picked up Alexa, and it is exact destination that Alexa put into the app. So Lyft is suggesting that we head east on the 10, south on the 405, and then take this route here, the 90 west. Here is the driver app. Close. And so I go to the overview on Lyft, and it's still saying take the longer route, the one that takes us through the highways. Now, if I go to Google, it's going to suggest that I just head straight south from here and not take the freeways. So I have this address as 13273 Fiji. So as you can see, Lyft is taking us on the longer route. If we had just hit navigate, Google would have taken us on the shorter route. So we actually have to go into Google navigation and select a longer route. So it's 15 minutes. It's actually shorter, but it's longer. It's 10 miles versus 4.8 miles. I'm going to do this 2 times. I'm going to run it once with the short route. I'm going to run it once with the long route and see what payout comes out for the driver. But just to note, when you go to the overview screen of the route in Lyft, it will show you the route that matches up with the one they're suggesting for the passenger. I opened up both apps before I started recording, and I noticed that Uber actually recommended the shorter route, the route that was shorter distance-wise. Here's where we're at. We're about to end the trip, drop off Christine, confirm drop off. So there's a discrepancy. I made $6.57, and now remember, that is before Lyft's cut. So $10.49 is what was charged. My total earnings today are $6.57, but in this screen right here on Lyft, this is the total amount that was supposedly charged for the trip. Lyft has always shown you the total amount before their 20% commission. So this $6.57 is actually pre-commission.
So we got to times $6.57 times 0.8. $6.57 times 0.8 equals
$5.26, rounding up, of course. So Lyft on that trip right there, because I took the shorter way, I took the most optimum route. Lyft was suggesting the longer route. So of the total amount that was charged on that trip, the $10.49, I made about 50% of that. So with this upfront pricing on Lyft is taking 50% of this trip. I only made 50%. So let's try this one more time and try using the exact route that Lyft recommends. We have reset our location. We are back at the exact location that we started from, and I have the Uber app open. Now, I was about to give Uber some accolades because they were using the shorter route, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to reconsider my accolades because look at this. I have the Uber passenger app open on my phone and on Christine's phone. Now, on Christine's phone, Uber is suggesting the shorter route. But on my phone, Uber is suggesting the longer route. So there will be no accolades for Uber as they have just gotten trickier about their routing system. So sometimes they do the optimum route and sometimes they do the longer one. But anyway, so back to Lyft. We are going to try again, but we are going to follow the exact route that Lyft has shown to the passenger. So we are going to follow that and try to make as much money as possible. Hopefully the $10.49 minus Lyft's commission. So we'll see what happens. Hit pickup, add destination, back to Fiji. Now, because it is now prime time on Lyft, the price has gone up to $12.59. I'm going to follow the exact route and see if I can get as close to $12.59 as possible. So I'm going to go online. Gone online. I'm going to request Lyft. Now we are going to have to go back to, if I just hit navigate, it's going to take me this shorter distance trip. So I'm going to go back to Maps. I'm going to go to Google Maps. We're going to enter the new address. Navigate. So as you can see again, Lyft is suggesting the longer route. Now we actually have to select the longer route on Google Maps. So now we can start navigating. So we have arrived at the same destination again. Drop off Christine. But by going the route Lyft suggested, we actually made more. So by following the subscribed route by Lyft and Uber, you actually make more money. When you hit navigate on either Lyft or Uber, sometimes it will take you on a shorter route, which will result in you making less money. There's two tips I've learned from doing these experiments. One is start the trip before the passenger comes out. Remember, this is a guaranteed fare. They're not going to pay any more than what has already been shown. That's why it's upfront pricing. So they're not going to get mad at you for starting the trip early. It's a guaranteed price. They're not going to be charged more money for it. So start the trip before they come out. So now you have time to figure out the route that Lyft or Uber is suggesting, and you can follow that exact route, and you're going to make exactly the amount that you should be making. Now, if you just hit navigate, Lyft or Uber is going to transfer the route over to Google or Waze, and Waze is going to go on the most optimum route, and you're going to lose money that way. So unfortunately, Lyft and Uber are long hauling their passengers. So you're just making what the passenger has already agreed to pay. So start that trip early. Now, I know there's going to be times where the passenger comes out too fast, or they're going to be in a hurry, or they're going to be a local. They're going to know the fastest way, and they're going to start telling you which way to go. Unfortunately, that's just the reality of doing rideshare. You're just going to have to write these trips off as losses, but for the most part, you now know that you can take the longer routes and the passenger isn't going to be charged more. So take the longer route, especially if they're tourists. I always ask people where they're from, and if they're from somewhere else, they're not going to know anything else. If they're local or they've lived there forever, then you can try and see what happens. And if they start getting angry, you can always explain to them upfront pricing. Now you know the details. You can say, hey, go to Kurt's vlog. He'll explain it to you. My suggestion is start the trip early, look at the route, and use the route that they suggested. Thank you for watching, and remember, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. A few more things on upfront pricing. Don't be overly concerned on matching routes with the Uber or Lyft suggested route with what your GPS is saying, because sometimes on shorter trips and medium length trips, the variance is very small and it's not really going to result in a big price difference. And sometimes there won't be a price difference. Sometimes you're just going to be going straight down the street, and then you'll make a left on one street and you'll be at the destination. So if you see it's just a shorter trip or a medium length trip, and when you compare the two trips, sometimes you're not going to be able to take a longer route. So don't worry about that too much. And ultimately, when it comes to upfront pricing, Lyft is a little better, because once you arrive at the pickup location for the passenger, you can see where they're going. So you have all the time in the world to compare the two. Also, you don't need to stick to the prescribed route every single time. While I would suggest that 90% of the time, one time I did get burned, and that was with a trip to Griffith Park, where I took the exact route that Uber suggested, and it was just gridlock nightmare, and I couldn't get out of there. Actually, if you can avoid going to Griffith Park as a driver, it's just horrible. The traffic up there is so bad now.